Bo Yi never imagined that what he thought was just teaching his wife a lesson, by throwing her into prison to learn some rules, would cost him the woman who once treated him as her whole world. Tang Shi had become an empty shell, a puppet without a soul, no longer clinging to him, no longer begging pitifully for his comfort. Now he regretted everything, kneeling on the ground, pleading for forgiveness. But Tang Shi only pulled her hand away and with a cold face addressed him as Mr. Bo. The heavy prison gates creaked open. Tang Shi stepped out into the blinding sunlight, 5 years of confinement leaving her frail and worn. The clothes she wore when she first entered had long since faded, but at least waiting for her were her beloved brother and her precious son. "My little baby, mommy will never be apart from you again." Even after returning to a normal life, nightmares still woke her in the dead of night. In those dreams, Bo Ye's hands strangled her throat as his chilling voice hissed, "You'll die within me." That agonizing memory haunted her like a demon, tormenting her over and over again. Years ago, she was framed and accused of causing the death of Bo Ye's first wife. She thought that after 5 years together, her husband would fight to uncover the truth and clear her name. But the first to stand up and condemn her was Bo Yi himself, declaring she was the one who killed me. From that moment she was thrown into prison and the Tang family was torn apart. During her sentence she unexpectedly discovered she was carrying Bo Ye's child. And so, behind bars, she struggled to give birth to Tang Wei. Before she even had the chance to hold her baby close, she had to endure the pain of entrusting him to her brother's care. That parting lasted 5 long years. "Mom, did you have another nightmare?" Little Tang Wei walked in with a cup of warm milk. "Do you want me to tell you a story? Uncle taught me lots of them." Seeing her son so gentle and thoughtful, Tang Shi's heart ached with guilt. "Mommy's fine, but it's just that I haven't spent enough time with you. Your uncle has done a better job." She then smiled softly. "Tomorrow's the weekend. How about we go to the amusement park with your uncle?" The moment Tang Wei heard that, his eyes sparkled with excitement. Yes, I love going to the amusement park." The next morning, Tang Shi took her son to the restaurant for breakfast. On the news, she unexpectedly heard Bo Ye's name. According to insiders, the Bo family's eldest son would be coming to Blue City at the end of the month to work with the Yi group. Before the report even finished, Tang Wei quickly turned off the TV. Tang Shi froze for a moment, confused by her son's reaction. "Mom, that man Bo Yi, is he my dad?" Tang Shi forced a dry laugh. "Why would you think that?" But the boy pointed to his own face. "Mommy, I've seen him on TV. Look at me, this isn't just a resemblance, it's exactly the same." Tang Shi felt a headache coming on. What am I supposed to do with a kid this smart? Can't he just be a little dumber? Urgent online waiting. Glancing at her son, she even considered taking him abroad for plastic surgery, just to keep Bo Yi from recognizing him. But Tang Wei shook his little head. "That won't work, that if the Bo heir really wants to claim me, he'll definitely do a DNA test." Tang Shi could only smile awkwardly. "Baby, you really are too clever. But don't worry, Mom, I won't go with him." Her hand trembled slightly on the cup, not understanding why her son suddenly said this. "Because I only want to stay with you, Mom, no one else. Not even Dad." Tang Shi's eyes instantly grew moist. She hugged her son tightly. "All right, it's a deal." 20 minutes later, the three of them met at the amusement park entrance. Tang Yi went to buy the tickets, while mother and son whispered excitedly about which rides to try first. Suddenly, a luxury car slowly drove past them. Bo Ye's gaze swept over casually, then froze. He immediately ordered the driver to stop. Was he seeing things? Why did that back look so familiar? Could it really be her? Jiang Shui, sitting beside him, also noticed the change in her brother. She sneered, Well, isn't that your ex-wife? And that little kid in her arms, he looks exactly like you. No one would believe he isn't your son." Bo Ye's face darkened. "Tang Shi, 5 years, and you dared to secretly give birth to my child. When was he born? Don't tell me, in prison?" The moment prison came to mind, his eyes dimmed. Shock, joy, hatred, all kinds of emotions twisted together, leaving even him unable to describe what he was feeling. Later that night, after Tang Yi had taken mother and son home, Tang Shi reminded him gently, "Brother, go back and rest early. Don't tire yourself out." Her words made Tang Yi laugh. "Taking care of you is exhausting enough. I don't even have a wife yet." The moment he said that, Tang Wei burst out laughing and called his uncle a lifelong bachelor. Tang Shi quickly covered her son's mouth, whispering a scolding, "Don't talk nonsense." Tang Yi chuckled and joined in. "That's right, brat. At home you'd better listen to your mom." The boy nodded obediently. "Got it, uncle." After Tang Yi left, Tang Shi finally relaxed and asked softly, "Son, did you have fun today?" Tang Wei nodded hard. "Super fun." Just as the words left his mouth, the doorbell rang. Thinking his uncle had forgotten something, the boy ran happily to open the door. But the moment it swung open, he was met with Bo Ye's cold face. The man sneered, "Brat, I'm your father." The instant Tang Wei saw his scumbag dad, he instinctively tried to slam the door shut. Bo Yi blocked it with one strong hand. Tang Shi sensed something was wrong. Bo Yi? How did he even find this address? Did he come here to snatch the child away? While she was still stunned, the man had already pushed his way inside. "Long time no see," he said coldly. Tang Shi remained silent. Realizing he couldn't stop the man, the boy stood in front of his mother, shielding her. "Bo Yi, my mom and I live quietly and have never done anything wrong. That we don't know you, so please leave." Then he turned back to comfort his mother. "Don't be scared, mommy. Let's just go to sleep." Mother and son turned away, intending to ignore the man, but his furious voice roared out, "Stop. Don't you owe me an explanation about this child?" "Explain what? I've already spent 5 years in prison. Why won't you let me go? A woman with a criminal record like me, am I really worth you showing up here in person?" Bo Yi narrowed his eyes, clearly dissatisfied that he slammed her against the wall and growled, "Don't presume to guess my thoughts. When was this child born? Do you even need to ask? Of course it was in prison." Tears streamed down Tang Shi's face in helpless grievance. "A woman like me doesn't deserve Mr. Bo's concern. And isn't it true? In your eyes there's only in me." Bo Ye's fury exploded, his grip on her hand tightened painfully. "Don't you dare mention her name, you have no right." Tang Shi struggled desperately, but in the chaos, the scars on her right hand were revealed. The jagged, twisted marks stabbed straight into his eyes. Bo Ye's pupils shrank in shock, he couldn't hold back his voice. "What happened? Why are there so many scars?" Looking at his stunned expression, Tang Shi gave a broken, bitter smile. "Isn't this the gift you left me with your own hands? Mr. Bo, I've suffered enough for a lifetime. Have mercy and let me go." The man's grip fell weak as he released her, staring in disbelief. In the woman's eyes there was no trace of love, only hatred carved deep into her very bones. Yes, he had wanted to lock her in prison to make her regret it for life. But how did it turn into this? Who had tormented her behind bars? Who had shattered her pride? Bo Yi gazed at Tang Shi, and for the first time, a strange fear crept into his chest. Fear that he could no longer understand this woman before him. They had shared 5 years of marriage, yet now she felt like a stranger. Bo Yi fled her home as though running for his life. Standing at the doorway, he clutched his collar with trembling hands that he didn't understand. He should be glad to see her like this, so why did his heart ache so unbearably? Behind the closed door, Tang Shi screamed silently, all the emotions she had been forced to bury erupting at once. "Mommy, do you want some milk?" her child's innocent voice rang out. Tang Shi swallowed back her tears and pulled her son into her arms. She thought that after crying through this night, she would finally be free of Bo Yi. But fate had other plans. The next afternoon, something unexpected happened. Tang Shi received a call from her brother. Sure, the headmaster said someone forcibly took Wei from kindergarten. I checked the cameras. It was Bo Yi. Tang Shi clutched her chest, her fingers trembling uncontrollably. She whispered to herself, "It's okay. Don't be afraid. Bo Yi, if you dare steal my last hope, don't blame me for fighting you to the death." At the same time, inside the Bo family mansion, Bo Ye's mother, Sun Huiqiu, studied the little boy before her. "Are you really our Bo family's grandson? Who are your parents?" "Who my mother is, that doesn't matter to you, and who my father is, well, that doesn't matter to me." The boy's words clearly enraged his so-called scumbag father. Bo Yi barked harshly. "What do you mean by that?" "Exactly what it sounds like," Tang Wei replied. Sun Huiqiu could see the deep resentment in the child, especially toward the Bo family. She didn't dare step forward to hug him, only asked softly, "How has your mother been these past years?" Tang Wei let out a mocking laugh. "In prison, meals are on the state, so I'd say my mom's been living comfortably enough." Bo Yi exploded with rage, grabbing Tang Wei off the ground. "Who taught you to talk like this? Was it Tang Shi? But the boy stood fearless. I don't remember who taught me that, I just remember everyone around me saying it. Even yesterday, you said it yourself right in front of my mom. A sharp pain stabbed through Bo Ye's chest as he slowly set the child back down. So, you picked up a few tricks from your mother, huh? Came here just to provoke me? If I bother you so much, then send me back. Trying to use me to threaten my mom will only make us hate you more. Realizing his plan had been seen through, the man clenched his teeth in fury. Does she really hate me that much? Enough to make our son hate me too? Why did it turn out like this? This isn't what I wanted. Bo Yi roared, slamming his fist into the wall. Sun Huichu quickly grabbed her son's arm. Stop it. Bo Yi tossed Tang Wei into his mother's arms and stormed upstairs without looking back. Sun Huichu looked at her grandson with distress. Did I scare you? What's your name? My name is Tang Wei. The way with the heart radical. Mom says it means only and hope. Sun Huichu sighed. Such a beautiful name. But the boy's face remained cold. Even if you praise me, it won't make me close to you. My mom will definitely come for me. That she's the only one I want. The old woman's heart sank with bitterness. It was clear the child truly despised them. The next morning, Tang Shi dressed early and headed straight to the Bo group. It was rush hour, the entrance crowded with people, but her presence instantly drew every gaze. Even the receptionist froze, stunned by her aura. May I ask who you're here to see? Bo Yi. The moment the name left her lips, everyone gasped. To call the Bo family heir by name so directly, what audacity. Shoo, keep your voice down. Can't you see the way she walks, like she owns the place? She must have backing. Maybe she's Bo Ye's secret lover. But isn't Bo Yi in love with Missin? At the mention of Missin, Tang Shi felt her heart twist like a knife. So the whole company knew Bo Yi loved me. Yet she alone had foolishly believed marriage would win his love. The receptionist added cautiously, Miss, seeing President Bo requires an appointment. Tang Shi was about to reply when a voice suddenly sounded behind her. Well, what are you doing here? It was Bo Ye's friend Jiang Shui. You're here to see old Yi, right? I'll take you up. In the elevator, Tang Shi murmured her thanks. Jiang Shui waved it off. No need to thank me. I've got business with him too. Besides, the Tang family still holds shares here. Coming back to your own company is only natural. You've certainly done your homework on my past. Tang Shi's tone dripped with sarcasm, whether aimed at Jiang Shui or herself, even she wasn't sure. But unfortunately, it doesn't belong to me anymore. Jiang Shui hesitated for a moment before asking, 5 years ago when you went to prison, was it really Bo Yi who sent you there? Tang Shi said nothing, only giving a bitter smile. Jiang Shui, seeing that, chose not to press further. She could only think that the Tang Shi before her was nothing like the one she used to know. Gone was the innocence of the past. Soon the elevator reached the 20th floor. Bo Yi was in his office, waiting for Jiang Shui. When he saw her push open the door with another woman behind her, he couldn't resist teasing. What, you bring a date with you to business meetings now? But when his eyes focused on who it was, his face instantly darkened. Why are you here? I came for my son. Bo Yi snapped back immediately. He's my son too. Tang Shi, long used to his shamelessness, felt nothing. No, he's mine alone. I'm honestly shocked. Mr. Bo, you want to claim this child? Are you serious? Weren't you the one who hated me to the bone? Bo Ye's voice was low and heavy. In prison, I figured out a lot of things. Whether you were innocent or not doesn't matter. What matters is, you never gave me an ounce of trust. Don't tell me you're suddenly rekindling old feelings. As she spoke, Tang Shi seemed like a stranger, her voice cold enough to cut. Bo Ye's face turned livid with rage. Who taught you to talk like this? Do you think you've grown wings now? Tang Shi let out a cold laugh. Bo Yi, wasn't it you who taught me this? You crushed my love with your own hands back then. What more could you possibly want from me now? I have nothing left. Even the Tang family has been devoured clean by you. Bo Yi, I beg you, give me back my son. Her few words cut into him like blades, reopening the same wound he had felt 5 years ago when he watched her being shoved into a police car. Bo Ye's throat tightened, and the sight of Tang Shi's tears only made his restlessness worse. You want your son back? Fine. Tonight, go to the bar and drink with one of my clients. Tang Shi's eyes widened in disbelief. Bo Yi, you're asking me to be a drinking escort? He sneered. What's wrong? Don't you want your child back? Can't even handle something this small? Tang Shi staggered back, shaking her head. I'll never be as ruthless as you. Bo Yi secretly breathed a sigh of relief, thinking she would back down. But suddenly Tang Shi smiled. All right, young Master Bo, since you've asked, how could I refuse? It's just drinking, isn't it? If it gets my son back, I'll do anything. She turned with a parting shot. Just don't regret it later. Then she walked away. Bo Yi was left standing there in shock. She had actually agreed. Later that night, as Bo Yi returned home, he bumped into his son at the door. Why aren't you going inside? I'm waiting for someone. Bo Yi brushed off the boy's words and declared flatly, from now on, I'll raise you. In a few days we'll change your name, you'll take my surname. Tang Wei slapped his hand away. Young Master Bo, did you file the paperwork? If you want custody, you'll have to take my mom to court. Bo Yi actually let out a furious laugh. You're already my son. Do I need to take you for a DNA test? I don't need paperwork to raise my own child. The boy narrowed his eyes. Young Master Bo, I was born after your divorce. That means custody belongs to my mom. That if you want to raise me, you'll have to discuss it with her first. The man froze in shock, unable to believe words like that could come from a 5-year-old child. Young Master Bo, if I wasn't your son, if I was born from my mom and another man, would you still treat me like this? A sharp pang struck Bo Ye's chest. Irritation burned through him. Another man? Impossible. Any man who touched her would be signing his own death warrant. Seeing his expression, Tang Wei gave a cold laugh. Young Master Bo, you'll never understand what the past 5 years have been like for us. That's why I'll never be close to you. Alright, I'll wait here for my mom. Young Master Bo, please suit yourself. Hearing that title, Young Master Bo, over and over again made his blood boil. Truly like mother, like son, neither would give him peace. That evening, Tang Shi arrived at the bar as promised. When Bo Yi rushed in, he saw her being harassed by a drunken man. Hey pretty lady, all alone. Come have a drink with big brother. Tang Shi shot him a cold glance. Sorry, I already have an appointment. Unmoved, the drunkard reached out to grab her. In the next instant, a figure flashed past, gripping the man's wrist with such force it nearly crushed bone. The drunk screamed in pain as Bo Yi snarled, "Get lost." Sensing danger, the man cursed under his breath and stumbled away. Bo Yi turned to Tang Shi, his voice low. How long have you been waiting? Not long. 10 minutes. At that moment, Tang Shi carried herself with flawless grace. Yet it was precisely that grace that made her feel like a stranger to him. Once she had been gentle and radiant, her eyes brimming with affection. Now, those eyes were like a dried-up well, swallowing all her pride and leaving nothing but emptiness. A tremor ran through Bo Ye's chest as he forced himself to look away, coldly beckoning her upstairs. Soon they reached the private room door, but there Tang Shi suddenly hesitated. The sight made Bo Yi smirk with pride. What's wrong? Why not go in? It's not too late to regret. Tang Shi said nothing, her fists clenched tight. The next second she pushed open the door. A wave of alcohol and smoke washed over her. Though she disliked it, she betrayed nothing, only a faint frown. The moment the private room door opened, a whistle cut through the air. Damn, she's hot. Who brought her? Bo Yi watched with cold detachment. What's wrong, Fu Zhen, interested? Of course. Old Yi, how did you know this is exactly my type? He laughed, throwing an arm around Tang Shi. Pretty lady, care to play some games? From the side, Bo Ye's grip on his wine glass tightened until it creaked. Jiang Shui leaned over and whispered, Old Yi, should I go have a word with Fu Zhen? No need. Bo Ye's voice was like ice, utterly calm. He wanted to see just how long Tang Shi could endure. President Fu, are you the one here to discuss business with Bo Yi? Fu Zhen's face darkened, but he waved it off with a greasy grin. Pretty lady, we're out to have fun. Don't ruin it by talking business. Kills the mood. Tang Shi silently confirmed it in her heart. So this was the man that if Bo Yi had brought her here to entertain the client, then all she needed to do was keep Fu Zhen pleased. So she flashed a silly smile at Fu Zhen. President Fu, I was late just now, so I'll punish myself with a drink first. Later, if there are any games, please don't pick on me. Her act of humility worked perfectly, instantly making the greasy man grin from ear to ear. Watching Tang Shi smile so brightly at another man, Bo Yi suddenly felt a surge of nameless fury. He had brought her here to humiliate her, to make her back down. But why was she standing her ground with such composure? Jiang Shui watched nervously from the side. Old Yi, are you alright? Bo Yi clenched his back teeth hard, his gaze sharp as blades locked on Tang Shi. Yet his lips forced out the words, doesn't matter. Let her be eat as long as she can handle fusion for me. What's wrong with pouring drinks? Even if she ended up with him, it wouldn't matter. The chaotic thoughts swirled in his head, leaving him drowning in turmoil and restraint. Suddenly the crowd burst into cheers. She lost. Fusion, give her a kiss. Bo Ye's head snapped up. He caught the moment just as Fusion leaned in toward Tang Shi. What the hell do you think you're doing? He barked. The entire room froze at his furious shout. Fusion, startled, instantly let go. Old Yi, why are you yelling all of a sudden? You scared me. Tang Shi, however, only smiled. It's just truth or dare. Want to join in? Weren't you the one who wanted me embarrassed? Why pretend otherwise now? Bo Yi ignored her completely, snapping his head aside. Rage poured out of him uncontrollably, and he didn't even stop to wonder why. At that moment, his mind was filled with madness. Lock Tang Shi up at home, never let her see another man. She was his possession. Anyone who touched her deserved to die. Still unwilling to give up, Fusion leaned closer and asked for her name. The words froze Tang Shi in place. What's wrong, pretty lady? Don't tell me you're someone shady. Don't scare me now, he teased. Tang Shi rose abruptly, masking her disgust. I'm feeling a little dizzy. I'll go to the restroom first. I'll tell you when I'm back. Fusion whistled after her. I'll be waiting, sweetheart. As Tang Shi stepped out, Bo Yi followed right behind. In the restroom, Tang Shi was racking her brain over how to answer Fusion's question. If she said her real name, Tang Shi, once the eldest daughter of the Tang family, people would only laugh at her now. Just as she stood there lost in thought, Bo Yi suddenly barged in and shoved her into the corner. Why didn't you tell him who you are? He growled. If you've got the guts to flirt with another man, why don't you have the guts to admit it? Tang Shi gave a bitter smile, her face pale. Mr. Bo, please have some respect. This is the ladies' room. But her warning clearly fell on deaf ears. Instead, he grew even more reckless, brushing his fingers across her lips. Why didn't you even try to dodge? If I hadn't stepped in, were you really going to let Fusion kiss you? Tang Shi didn't answer. She only lowered her head in silence. Well done, Tang Shi. 5 years apart and you've only gotten bolder. Tang Shi let out a laugh of fury. Mr. Bo, what right do you have to accuse me? Wasn't it you who brought me here? Wasn't it you who told me to drink with your client? The man's face twisted more viciously, shocked by her defiance. And you dare talk to me like that? What if I told you to be with him? Then I would, she shot back. After all, in your eyes, I'm nothing. If you don't care, why should I? You dragged me here to pour drinks. Did you ever once think I might be humiliated? Isn't that what you wanted? To see me degraded? Fine. You got what you wanted. Bo Yi looked half mad, storms of violence flashing through his eyes. In the next instant, he bent down and crushed his lips against hers, without even knowing why himself. He had claimed not to like her, yet the thought of someone else touching what he considered his sent him spiraling with uncontrollable rage. Tang Shi struggled desperately. Bastard. Let me go. Just then, footsteps passed outside the door. Bo Yi sneered. Go ahead, scream. Let everyone hear. Cornered by his shamelessness, Tang Shi's voice trembled with helplessness. Why are you doing this to me? Why do you come close when you want me, then throw me away when you don't? Bo Yi, wasn't the pain you gave me 5 years ago enough? I already paid the most brutal price. Why won't you let me go? She cried, her whole body shaking. At last, the man seemed to sense her grief. He froze in place, stunned, and let her walk away without stopping her. At that moment, Bo Yi thought he must be mad, or drunk. Otherwise, why would Tang Shi's return after 5 years stir up his obsession again? Back in the banquet hall, Fusion still had his arm draped over Tang Shi. Pretty girl, where'd you run off to? Why so long? He even cast a sly glance at the late-arriving Bo Yi. Pretty girl, you and old Yi, your relationship doesn't look so simple. Tang Shi's whole body stiffened. How did he notice? But she didn't admit it. In an instant she forced a smile. How could that be, President Fu? Why would you think so? Because I saw you head to the restroom and old Yi followed right after. Tang Shi gave an awkward smile. Realizing she couldn't hide it any longer, she dropped the act. President Fu, didn't you want to know who I am? Her solemn expression made Fusion pause. My name is Tang Shi. I'm the Tang family's eldest daughter, the one in the news 5 years ago, branded a murderer and Bo Ye's ex-wife. Fu Jin's face drained of color that he instinctively stepped back. Pretty girl, you're not joking, are you? Why would I joke about that? I spent 5 years in prison. If you don't believe me, go look it up online. Fu Jin's mind was spinning. If this is true, then why would old Yi bring you here to drink with us? Tang Shi gave him an innocent smile. President Fu, what a funny question. Since we're already divorced, isn't it normal for me to come out and have some fun? You don't need to feel any pressure. Just as the two were speaking, Bo Yi strode toward them. To everyone's shock, he suddenly hoisted Tang Shi over his shoulder. The girl panicked, struggling. Put me down right now. But Bo Yi scoffed. Put you down, so you can keep making eyes at another man? The entire room froze in disbelief. Even Fu Jin stammered. Brother, calm down, we can talk this out. Bo Yi cut him off coldly. Sorry, President Fu, she's mine tonight. We'll meet another day. Humiliated, Fu Jin's face twisted with rage. Old Yi, you bastard. You bring me a girl and then try to hog her for yourself? Bo Yi ignored Fu Jin completely, but every word still rang clear in Tang Shi's ears. Her face flushed crimson as she pounded on his back. Put me down, everyone's watching. And what if I refuse? You're drunk, she snapped, but the man carried her off anyway, brazenly before the crowd. Let me go, you bastard, you scum. Normally, such curses would have set Bo Yi off in a rage. Yet now he laughed, strangely calm. Good one. No wonder you were top of your class at Ivy Vine. Even your insults are top tier. Tang Shi trembled with fury. You dragged me here to drink and now you regret it. Then let someone else take me. I rotted in prison for you for 5 damn years. What more do you want from me? Her words sent a shockwave through the room. Murmurs spread like wildfire. Is she really Tang Shi? The Tang family's gifted eldest daughter, the one who went to jail? Hearing the whispers, Tang Shi suddenly let out a bitter laugh, then tears streamed down her face. What a legacy, Bo Yi. You branded me a murderer. What a fine name you left me. She had never wanted to cry, but fate was cruel. Just when she thought she was finally free, it struck her down again, dragging her back into the abyss. Perhaps it was the alcohol, but Tang Shi began thrashing wildly. Bastard, haven't you humiliated me enough? Put me down. Suddenly, she lost her balance and slipped from his shoulder, the back of her head slamming hard against the doorframe. The world spun violently before her eyes, and then everything went black. This time, Bo Yi truly panicked, roaring, "Call an ambulance now." In the silent hospital room, Tang Shi slowly regained consciousness. As she glanced around, her gaze fell on Bo Yi standing guard at the door. "You're awake." Tang Shi shot him a cold look but said nothing. Bo Yi strolled closer, a roguish grin on his face. "Still mad at me? Don't forget I saved you today." At that, Tang Shi let out a bitter laugh as though she'd heard the world's cruelest joke. "Then I should really thank you. 5 years ago, you destroyed my life. 5 years later, you humiliate me again. I must have committed some unforgivable sin in my past life to deserve being ruined by you in this one." Bo Ye's voice hardened. "What, still trying to clear your name? And me's death, you caused it." Tang Shi's eyes locked onto his, her voice like ice. "Bo Yi, what if me's death had nothing to do with me? Tell me, could you ever repay what you owe me in this lifetime?" Bo Ye's pupils shrank sharply. He staggered back in disbelief, his eyes locked on Tang Shi. "Say that again." Tang Shi's voice was calm. "Bo Yi, I don't actually hate you. You're pitiful enough as it is. Hating you doesn't matter anymore." Perhaps out of pity, she swallowed the harsher words that almost followed. Bo Yi let out a bitter laugh. "Stop pretending to be innocent. If you were really clean, why didn't you prove it 5 years ago? Did you ever give me the chance to explain?" Just one sentence laid bare all her grief. "You never once believed me. I was your wife for 5 years, yet I couldn't even earn a proper glance from you. Bo Yi, you never loved me. So why did you marry me? Was this fair to me, or to me?" Her words shattered what little reason he had left. He roared, voice raw with madness. "I only ever loved me. Marrying you was nothing more than because you climbed into my bed." Tang Shi gave a broken laugh. "As expected, you've forgotten everything, but there's one saying that's true. Deep love is useless and longing unacknowledged is worthless. Bo Yi, treat all I gave you as a joke. If I could do it all over again, I would never choose to meet you." With that, she pointed to the ward door and spat coldly, "Get out." The hatred in her eyes was unmistakable. Her claim of not hating him only meant she hated him so deeply that forgiveness had lost all meaning. Nurses rushed in at the commotion. "Quick, give her a sedative." Tang Shi burst into wild laughter, crying and laughing all at once. Staring at her madness, Bo Yi stood frozen as if struck by lightning. His handsome face twisted with agony from deep within his soul, his brows knotted in pain. "Tang Shi, what's wrong with you?" Then suddenly he remembered the vicious scar on her right hand. How desperate must someone be to harm the hand they treasure most? She was a designer. No one valued those hands more than she did. What had she gone through to be crushed until she destroyed even her greatest gift? What horrors had she suffered in prison to become like this? Out in the corridor, the attending doctor rushed over with a report. "Young Master Bo, your wife's condition is very serious. She suffers from severe depression, clearly the result of immense trauma. Tell me, did something happen between you and your wife in the past?" Bo Ye's throat burned, clogged like it was stuffed with cotton. After a long silence, he forced out a single line. "No, nothing. Medication alone won't heal her," the doctor continued. "From her treatment records, it's clear she resists therapy deep down. Young Master Bo, you'll need to spend time at her side. Do you even know what your wife loves most?" That final question left Bo Yi stunned. What does Tang Shi love most? He couldn't answer. Unable to continue the conversation, Bo Yi muttered a few perfunctory words and left in haste. As he left, the doctor's words still echoed in his head. "Young Master Bo, did you know? The scars on your wife's hand overlap, old and new. The most recent one was made just 2 weeks ago." Bo Yi had never imagined Tang Shi would harm herself. Tossing and turning for the first time, he felt the urge to run away. He couldn't even face a woman. How ironic. Tang Shi had killed in me, and now she lived in such misery. By all logic, he should have felt pleased. Yet every time he saw her, he felt no joy, only the crushing sense that he was the true murderer, the one who had driven her into this abyss. Bo Yi lingered outside the ward for a long time. At last, he pulled out his phone and ordered his men to investigate thoroughly what had happened during Tang Shi's 5 years in prison. In the hospital corridor, Tang Wei eyed his shameless father with suspicion. "Mr. Bo, is Mom sick again?" Bo Yi didn't answer, he only kept pressing the boy to call him Dad. "No, Mr. Bo. Put me down. I want to see Mommy. Call me Dad or I won't let you down." Cornered, Tang Wei reluctantly gave in. He stammered out, "Dad." It was his first time saying it, the word clumsy on his tongue, his little face flushed bright red. Satisfied, Bo Yi finally set him down and coaxed, "You'll get used to it if you say it more often. I'm your father. What's wrong with calling me Dad? I've been alive for 5 years and you've never cared about me." "That's not true. It's because your mother hid you too well. I only found out about you recently." "Then what about when my mom was pregnant?" Tang Wei pressed. "Don't tell me. You didn't even know she was having me?" The question left Bo Yi speechless. He had no excuse. If he had known Tang Shi was pregnant back then, maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't have sent her to prison. Countless emotions flickered in his eyes, but on the surface he showed nothing. In the blink of an eye, he was once again the cold, ruthless heir of the Bo family. "Son, let's not talk about this. Your mom isn't doing well. I want you to comfort her." At that, Tang Wei nodded obediently. "Mommy's depression is really serious," he added softly. "She's fine most of the time, but the moment something about you comes up, she falls apart." A sharp pain stabbed through Bo Ye's chest. Had he become a monster in Tang Shi's eyes? Was she so terrified she couldn't even bear to touch anything related to him? Inside the ward, Tang Shi was still resting. The little boy tested the air with a soft call, "Mommy." Tang Shi immediately sat up and pulled him into her arms, holding him tightly. Wei, why are you here?" "Mommy, are you upset again?" Tang Shi forced a strong smile. Wei, did I scare you again?" "No." "Then Mommy promises it won't happen next time. I'm just glad you're here." Later, Tang Wei told her the truth, that it was his shameless father who had brought him to the hospital. "Mommy, I know you hate him, but he is my dad." Tang Shi hadn't expected her son to say that. She hugged him tight. "He is not your father." "Mommy, even though I don't like him, having a dad does feel reliable. But if you don't want to go back to him, I won't interfere. Your choice will always be my choice." Tears welled in Tang Shi's eyes again. She gazed at her son with deep affection. I'm not afraid anymore. Wait, give me 2 more days to rest. Then we'll go back and live with uncle, alright? After coaxing his mother to sleep, it was already afternoon. As soon as Tang Wei stepped out of the ward, Bo Yi rushed over, anxious for news. It's okay, Dad, if mommy gets better. I have one condition. You have to let us reunite. Bo Ye's brows furrowed instantly. By reunite you mean that so-called home. What, you want to keep wandering outside? The thought of his son drifting unsettled him. Tang Wei's eyes dimmed. Dad, if it weren't for me, would you even care whether mommy lived or died? His son's words struck Bo Yi again, freezing him in place. For once he had no reply. See, there's no love between you two. That even if you lived together, you'd never be happy. That's why I'm fine just living with mommy. You can visit me anytime. I'll talk to mommy about it. Please think it over. Looking at his son's innocent face, Bo Yi felt a dull ache in his chest. How could a 5-year-old be so perceptive? So mature, it was heartbreaking. But Bo Yi, he could never let go. What a joke. How could his own son be left to suffer outside? A Bo heir had to be raised by the Bo family. In the days that followed, Bo Yi visited the hospital whenever he could, bringing his son along. Tang Shi's condition slowly improved, though every time she saw him her eyes still burned with hatred. Bo Yi told himself. Hate is fine. Hate is better than madness. A few days later, Tang Shi was discharged. Her brother Tang Yi came to pick them up, reminding her, you must take your medicine on time or it won't work. I know, brother. Look at me now, don't I seem fine? And if you run into Bo Yi again? The blunt question startled Tang Shi. That if she saw him she would panic, lose control, be helpless. That man had cut her too deep. She was already trapped in his shadow, unable to escape. Tang Shi drew a deep breath. Brother, some wounds can't be healed by medicine, they can only be healed by myself. And I don't want to live in Bo Ye's shadow anymore. I'm going to start a new life. Don't worry, brother. I'll work hard to overcome my fear. Just then Tang Wei came running over. And you've got me too. I'll always protect mommy. Meanwhile, in a luxury car parked nearby, Bo Yi was staring fixedly at the scene. Beside him, Fu Muzhong couldn't resist teasing. Young Master Bo, are you tailing your ex-wife now? Bo Yi shot him a glare. Watch your mouth, or I'll toss you out of this car. The reason I asked you here today is because I need a favor. Fu Muzhong blinked, then chuckled. That's all. I thought it was something serious. Don't worry, leave it to me. Early the next morning, Fu Muzhong went straight to Tang Shi's studio, extending an olive branch. At first, Tang Shi turned him down. But Fu Muzhong only smiled. Miss Tang, please think it over. If you change your mind, you can contact me anytime. Our design team would truly look forward to having you. And thank you for the coffee, it was delicious. Back in the car, Fu Muzhong had barely sat down when Bo Yi turned to probe for answers. Fu Muzhong gave a helpless shake of his head. She didn't agree. I knew it. With that, Bo Yi drove the luxury car away from the studio. As they merged onto the overpass, Fu Muzhong finally gave in to curiosity. Why don't you just ask her yourself? Why go in such a roundabout way and make me do it? The moment the words left his mouth, Bo Ye's grip on the steering wheel tightened. If I showed up, she'd rather die than work with me. That much was true. Fu Muzhong chuckled recklessly. Compared to you, she'd much rather see me. That set Bo Yi off. He slammed the wheel with his palm. Are you tired of living? Hey, don't get mad. This is what they call killing the donkey after it's done the work. You know that I help your ex-wife make money and now you want my head? Then he leaned in with a sharper question. But seriously, if you care this much, why did you throw her in prison 5 years ago? The question hit like a curse, leaving Bo Yi speechless. She was supposed to be the one he hated most. So why was he bending over backward for her now? After a long silence, Bo Yi muttered, because she killed me and the child. Fu Muzhong wasn't fooled. Come on, Bo Yi, she was clearly pregnant at the time, you just didn't know. The unspoken meaning was brutal. You threw your lawful wife into prison for the sake of a mistress. Bo Yi said nothing, only stomped on the accelerator. The car surged forward, speed climbing fast. Fu Muzhong shook his head. What now, planning to reenact Fast and Furious? Bo Yi nearly exploded, shooting his so-called friend a murderous glare. Fu Muzhong smirked. I've been way too kind to you. Want me to call your precious family right now and tell them you're out here partying? The hell, Bo Yi, that's low. Is this how you treat your so-called brother? Brother? Who's your brother? Get the hell out of my car. The two bickered the whole ride until Bo Yi finally dropped Fu Muzhong off. Only then did his ears find peace. But the very next second his phone rang. It was his son. Wait, what is it? Daddy, did you go see mommy today? Bo Ye's heart skipped that he hadn't expected his boy to be this sharp. Daddy, mommy told me someone recognized her as a designer and wanted to work with her. I'm guessing you set that up, right? Bo Yi thought, such a clever son. Must have gotten it from me. Without hesitation he admitted, yes, Dad, I wanted to help your mommy. Then why only now? Tang Wei's voice cut through the line like a blade. Daddy, if it's guilt over the past 5 years, mommy and I will accept your goodwill. But if it's just pity, we don't need it. The words pierced Bo Ye's chest like knives. That he snapped. Who taught you to talk like that? Was it your mother? No, this is my own idea. Mommy doesn't even know I called you. Bo Yi took a deep breath, forcing down his emotions. Wait, I just want to help you. Why won't you accept it? I only want to give you a better life. I don't need a better life, Tang Wei replied firmly. Daddy, if you truly have no feelings for mommy, then stop disturbing us. Thank you for your kindness, but that's enough. With that, Tang Wei hung up. Bo Yi stared blankly at the screen, frozen in place. For the first time he realized Tang Shi was slipping away from his world, completely. The next morning, after sending her son to school, Tang Shi sat alone in her studio, lost in thought. Tang Yi saw his sister's dazed look and felt his heart ache. Shi, what are you thinking about? I'm wondering whether I should accept Fu Muzhong's offer. His hand stilled at her words. He looked down at her. Shi, if you don't want to, then don't force yourself. Tang Shi shook her head. No, I think young Master Fu was right. Some scars need to be brought into the sunlight. The pain Bo Yi left me with, maybe it stopped hurting long ago. With her decision made, she went straight to Fu Muzhong's company. The moment she entered the lobby, the receptionist immediately recognized her. Miss Tang, this way please. Tang Shi was taken aback. How did the receptionist know her? But the answer came quickly, for the receptionist led her straight to Bo Yi. The moment Tang Shi saw Bo Yi, her breath hitched. Why, hey you. I was the one who asked Fu to reach out to you. Let's sit down and talk. No need. There's nothing left for us to discuss. Tang Shi's rejection was as cold as ever. Just as she turned to leave, his mocking laugh followed. Tang Shi, have you lost even the courage to face me? Is this really the same genius designer from back then? Her steps faltered. Was he trampling her pride just to force her to stay? Bo Yi, what exactly do you want? The man dropped all pretense and went straight to the point. How about a deal? I'll bring you clients and pave the way for your studio. In return, Tang Wei will be raised by me. You can visit him anytime, but from now on his life will be under the Bo family's care. Tang Shi clenched her fists unconsciously. So in the end, you just want to take my child away? That there's no need. Young Master Bo.my brother and I are more than capable of raising him. Is that so? Bo Yi narrowed his eyes, his gaze laced with mockery. One phone call from me and your brother wouldn't even have a place to beg for food. Then Tang Wei would be stuck sleeping on the streets with you. Bo Yi, don't you dare go too far. Using our son to threaten me. Do you even have a conscience? Why is it that every time you want something you can just rip it away while I can only endure your plundering? Tang Shi's eyes reddened as she cried out in fury. Bo Ye's heart jolted, a strange sensation surging through him. Ever since Tang Shi's return, that feeling had grown stronger, as if the fortress he had built over years was slowly being torn down brick by brick. A cold laugh slipped from Bo Ye's throat as he forced down the strange stir in his chest. You want to reason with me? Tang Shi, don't you find that ridiculous? A child of the Bo family was never yours to decide. Tang Shi let out a bitter laugh. Yes, but I raised him for 5 years. You never paid a single price. So that's it, you want money. Bo Ye's tone dripped with contempt as if he had seen right through her. 5 million. Consider it payment for raising Tang Wei. If you want cash, just say so. The disdain in his eyes branded her as nothing more than a woman trading her child for profit. Tang Shi stayed silent, her gaze locked on him. After a long pause, she suddenly smiled. The smile was breathtaking in its brokenness. Since you're so eager to compensate me, I'll just take it as guilt. Fine. 5 million. Transfer it to my account tomorrow. When money delivers itself to my door, why would I refuse? But the smile vanished as quickly as it came, her eyes flashing sharp and cold. Still, 5 million is far too little that I thought someone like you for your son's sake would throw down billions that I was prepared to collect a fortune. Yet all you offer is a measly 5 million? She clicked her tongue and shook her head. As expected, Bo Ye's face darkened. Tangshi, you vile kind of woman. Tangshi cut him off. A woman like me, young Master Bo, you'd better not waste your feelings on me. Inside, only a cold laugh remained. Since he had already branded her this way, she would grant him his wish from now on. All that lay between them was old resentment. No trace of love left. She straightened her back and rose to her feet. If there's nothing else, I'll be leaving. The next morning, Tangshi woke up from a nightmare. Her lips murmured over and over, "Don't take my child away." By her side, Tang Wei quickly handed her a glass of water. "Mommy, another nightmare. Take your medicine, it'll help." Tangshi stroked her son's hair, her voice weary. "Sorry, I made you worry again." The little boy leaned into her. "Don't be afraid, Mommy. Uncle and I will always stay with you." Tangshi's hand trembled sharply. Then she promised at once that she would never leave him either. Tang Wei lifted his head. The clarity in his eyes suddenly reminded Tangshi of her very first meeting with Bo Yi. She remembered him back on campus, the untamed school idol wearing his uniform with a loose tie, exuding a carefree, rebellious charm. How had the man she once loved so deeply turned into this? "Mommy, did Daddy give you trouble again?" Tang Wei's voice pulled her back from her thoughts. Seeing her son's cautious expression, Tangshi's heart softened. She admitted honestly, "Bo Yi wants to take you back to live with the Bo family." Tang Wei wasn't surprised that he smoothed his tousled hair. "Mommy must have refused, right?" Tangshi forced a faint smile. "Yes, and your father even gave us a huge sum of money." Tang Wei quickly comforted her. "Mommy, don't be upset. Having money is a good thing. With it, we can go traveling with Uncle." Tangshi nodded with a smile, but buried her real worries deep inside. She knew her entanglement with Bo Yi was far from over. That 5 million might only be the beginning of his insults. She hugged her son tightly as if to comfort him and to steel herself. "Wei, Mommy will never hand you over to anyone." Later, Tangshi went to her studio. The moment she stepped through the doors, Tang Yi rushed over with a frown. Sure, bad news. All our partnerships have been abruptly cut off." Tangshi's heart jolted. "What happened?" she asked urgently. "It's simple. We've offended someone." Tangshi instantly understood. This had to be Bo Ye's doing. It was him, using his power to show her he could crush them without lifting a finger. He wanted to force her to hand Tang Wei over by cutting off every way out. Tangshi clenched her fists, vowing silently, no matter what, she would never hand her son to that man. She was Dawn, a rising name in the design world. She wouldn't be snuffed out so easily. There would be someone willing to lend her a hand. Tang Yi looked at his sister's straightened back and let out a helpless sigh. He knew her too well. No matter how desperate the situation, she would grit her teeth and endure. But how long could such a deadlock last? Meanwhile, in the president's office of Bo Group, the assistant reported respectfully, "According to our information, 3 companies have already cancelled their contracts with Miss Tang's studio." Bo Yi asked casually, "And Tangshi's reaction?" She didn't show much of a reaction. The assistant hesitated, then added, "From what we observed after the contracts were terminated, Miss Tang and her team didn't even attempt to seek an explanation. It was clearly the other party breaching the terms, but they don't seem interested in defending their rights at all." Hearing this, a flicker of anger flashed in Bo Ye's eyes. A complete business shutdown, nearly an industry-wide ban. This would be fatal to any studio, and yet Tangshi remained calm? So she intended to fight him head-on. At the thought, his lips curved into a cold smile. "Very well, let her have it her way. Let's see how long she can hold out. One day she'll break, and she'll come crawling back to me." Tangshi only learned that all her design works had been taken down from the internet 2 days later. Tang Yi trembled with fury. "I'm going to confront him. This isn't just targeting us anymore, he's cutting off every way out. You carried his child for 10 months and even went to prison humiliated because of him. How can he treat you like this?" Tangshi's lips quivered uncontrollably, but she gritted her teeth and forced herself to stay strong. "Brother, we still have hope. We can't give up resisting. I will never hand Tang Wei over to him." At that moment, Tang Wei stood outside the president's office of Bo Group. blocked by the secretary that he told her he was there to see his father. I've seen plenty of women pretending to be Mrs. Bo, but now even kids are faking it? She looked him up and down with disdain. Brat, who taught you this? Did your mommy tell you to use yourself to trap Mr.Bo? Tang Wei's cheeks flushed red as he clenched his little fists. My mommy doesn't care about your so-called Mr. Bo, but I really am Bo Ye's son. Hearing that, the secretary grabbed him by the collar and started dragging him away, her tone sharp with impatience. I don't hit kids, but brats like you are begging for discipline. Who are you calling a brat? A voice, icy and razor-sharp, cut through the air from behind. The secretary froze, slowly turning her head. There stood Bo Yi, his face like frost, his presence radiating suffocating pressure. Panic flashed across the secretary's eyes as she scrambled to explain. This child is lying, he said you're his father. Bo Yi cut her off coldly. He is a miso and so what? Seems my secretary's got guts, daring to insult my child at what's next? Planning to climb on my head? The secretary's legs gave out and with a thud she dropped to her knees, begging for mercy. Bo Yi didn't spare her a glance. You're fired. Go to finance and collect your pay. With that, he scooped Tang Wei into his arms and carried him into the office. He set the boy down on the sofa, crouched in front of him, and the icy aura vanished in an instant. Why did you come looking for me? He asked with genuine puzzlement. Tang Wei lifted his gaze, eyes sharp. Was it you who gave the order to push my mommy into this corner? Bo Ye's smile froze on his face. He hadn't expected his son to confront him with such an accusatory tone. You came here to question me? Not to question, Tang Wei answered firmly. I came to demand justice for my mommy. Bo Yi let out a mocking laugh, his tone dripping with scorn. There's no such thing as justice in this world. Power and status are everything. Daddy, I don't agree with you, Tang Wei shot back, his eyes turning red with emotion. My mommy and uncle are already working so hard to live. Why do you insist on pushing them? If all of this is just for me, then please, stop these meaningless games. Bo Yi reached out, gently wiping the tears from the corner of his son's eyes. His voice carried a hint of probing. Did Tang Shi teach you to say this? Did she send you here to confront me? Tell her these tricks won't work. Tang Wei stared at him for a long time, then suddenly smiled. That smile, far too knowing for a child his age, made Bo Ye's heart sink for no reason. Mr. Bo, isn't it me you want? I'll go back to the Bo family with you. Just stop crushing my mommy. Bo Yi was stunned. The brat not only refused to call him dad, but also wore that look of bitter disappointment. Are you sure about this? Tang Wei nodded firmly. Yes, starting today. Bo Yi pulled out his phone and dialed Tang Shi. Tell your mommy or she'll think I kidnapped you. The moment the call connected, his icy voice carried through the line. Tang Wei is with me. From today onward, he is the young master of the Bo family. Hearing those words, Tang Shi broke down, screaming hysterically, Bo Yi, who gave you the right to take him away? Unwilling to listen to her shrill cries, Bo Yi simply handed the phone to Tang Wei. Holding back his sorrow, the boy whispered gently, Mommy, you can still come see me. It'll be like we were never apart. So you've decided to go back to the Bo family for wealth and glory, haven't you? Tang Wei's eyes turned red, tears brimming as he rushed to explain. It's not like that. I just don't want to see anyone bully you, Mommy. On the other end, Tang Shi finally understood her son's intentions, her voice choking to the point of breaking. It's my fault that I'm too useless. I forced you into this. Don't be sad, Mommy. You can come to the Bo family to see me. Mr.Bo never said you couldn't. Alright, once you get there, Mommy will come to you right away. She couldn't bear being separated from her child and could only accept the arrangement for now. Listening to the exchange, Bo Yi felt like a criminal of the worst kind, as if he had personally torn them apart. Just then, Tang Shi's voice suddenly roared through the phone. Bo Yi, are you dead set on stealing my son from me? He's a Bo by blood. Taking him home isn't wrong, is it? Bo Yi coughed lightly, his tone softening despite himself. If you want, you can come live at the Bo family with Tang Wei. Tang Shi's voice suddenly turned firm, carrying a trace of tragic resolve. Then let's settle this in court. Bo Yi froze for a moment, then sneered in mockery. Court? Jiang Xia is the top lawyer in the entire city of A, and you think you can fight me? Tang Shi, are you really that naive? Then I'll see you in court. Tang Shi choked back her tears, her resolve unshakable. When it came to her son, she would not back down, not even if it cost her life. The call ended with a sharp click. Bo Yi stared at the black screen of his phone, emotions swirling. He had actually thought of letting her live in the Bo estate. How ridiculous. It seemed that with this woman he could never allow himself even a shred of softness. In the days that followed, Tangsher practically visited every law firm in Haicheng. But not a single one dared to take her case. The moment they heard she was suing Bo Group's eldest heir, they immediately closed up and showed her the door. Yet Tangsher refused to give up. Stubbornly, she kept searching. There had to be someone out there willing to help her. She wouldn't bow her head. Not now. Lost in thought, she suddenly bumped straight into Fu Muzhong at a shopping mall. Seeing the third young master, she instinctively stepped back. "What, that's scared of me?" Fu sneered. "Miss Tang, I swear last time I was only trying to help you and Bo Yi." Tangsher's eyes widened in disbelief. Between her and Bo Yi, there was never help, only war. Life or death. Nothing in between. Fu sighed, dropping the act. "All right, I lied. That so-called business collaboration was faked. Bo Yi just wanted to find you and I helped him." He softened his tone. "I'm sorry, okay? You look miserable. Did something happen?" Tangsher didn't hide it. "I'm looking for a lawyer. Bo Yi took our child back to the Bo residence without my consent. But that child Ismanet." Fu blinked, genuinely surprised. He hadn't expected things between them to fall apart this badly. After a long pause, he sighed. "Honestly, in Haicheng, or even the whole A city, trying to win a lawsuit against Bo Yi is nearly impossible. Still, look at the bright side. Bo Yi can give the kid a good life. You're still young. Tangsher, don't chain yourself to him forever. You can start over." Her eyes turned red. "To me, the best life for my child is with me. If I lose him, what's the point of starting over?" Fu's tone grew serious. "I never said you had to abandon him. You can still visit, still play with him. But you need to free yourself from the shackles that child has put on your soul. Do you get what I mean?" Tangsher froze, visibly shaken. Fu watched her reaction and smirked faintly. "Remember, the most important person is you. Don't forget, you're the Tang family's eldest daughter." The Tang family's eldest daughter. Those 5 words pierced Tangsher's chest like a needle. A dull ache spread through her, quiet but sharp, like pain blooming from the inside out. She stood frozen for a long time before forcing a faint smile. "Third young master Fu, thanks for always finding ways to comfort me. How about dinner tonight? My treat." Fu Muzhong agreed instantly. "Sure. Mind if I pick a fancy place?" "Go ahead," Tangsher said lightly. "Bo Yi gave me 5 million. Buying you dinner won't even make a dent." "Perfect." Fu grinned and pointed casually. "That Japanese buffet over there. I'm obsessed with sushi." Tangsher chuckled. "Me too. I remember 5 years ago I once ate 22 plates of sweet shrimp." Fu's hand froze mid-flip of the menu, eyes wide. 22? Her smile brightened. 6 pieces per plate. Fu stared at her, utterly impressed. "So, who were you with that time?" Tangsher's hand hesitated. After a long pause, she murmured, "Bo Yi." The sweetness of 5 years ago came flooding back. The laughter, the way he looked at her, the warmth she thought was real. But now she knew she had been the only one in love. Meanwhile, Bo Yi was upstairs in the same mall, dining at a high-end sushi restaurant. Across from him sat a gentle-looking young woman. "Brother Bo Yi," she said softly, "I don't like sweet shrimp." "Then don't eat," Bo Yi replied flatly. The girl pouted. "Do you always have to be so cold? If my grandpa hadn't asked you out, would you even have come?" Bo Yi froze mid-motion, chopsticks suspended in midair. He lifted his gaze and met the girl's eyes. "To be honest, if your grandfather hadn't invited me, I wouldn't even be here." Su Feifei blinked in shock, her eyes instantly welling up. "How can you say that? Ilikyu Bo Yi, can't you at least give me a little response?" Her words stirred something faint. Memories from 5 years ago. Tangsher, elegant and proud in public but gentle and patient once they were alone. He remembered that look in her eyes, full of quiet hope, waiting for him to respond just once. Su Feifei couldn't hold it in anymore. She slammed her fist against his chest. "Say something, Bo Yi. What's so wrong about being with me? The Su family could help you. There's nothing to lose." He gave a bitter laugh. "You think I need a woman to prop me up?" "No," she blurted out, panic rising. "I just heard Tangsher's been released from prison. I thought she might try to cling to you again, so I wanted to protect you. Play your shield, please? Before she could finish, Bo Yi cut her off. No. Her expression hardened. So that's it? You think I'm not good enough? 5 years ago that Tangshur couldn't even compare to me now. Her words froze as soon as she met his eyes, cold, empty, and merciless. Su Feifei, he said quietly, you don't have the right to speak her name. He stood up, slipping on his jacket. I'm leaving, and stop using your grandfather as an excuse to meet me. That I still respect the old man. Don't make me lose that too. She followed him out, stubbornly climbing into his car. Yi sighed, exasperated. I'm not driving you home, and don't even think about turning this into gossip. Her jaw clenched. She hadn't expected him to see right through her. To save face, she mumbled. Then I'll just visit your mother. Bo Ye's voice was flat. Do what you want. The car had barely gone a few blocks when Su Feifei suddenly gasped. Wait, isn't that Tangshur? Bo Yi slammed the brakes, his tone sharp. What did you say? I just saw her, on the sidewalk. She was standing next to Fu Muzhong. Bo Ye's hands tightened on the steering wheel. Impossible, he muttered. Tangshur. With him? You must have seen wrong. Inside the Bo family mansion, the girl walked in and immediately clung to Bo Ye's arm. Before he could react, Su Feifei pointed toward the little boy sitting on the couch. Bo Yi, is that your kid? He looks exactly like you. The boy tilted his head, his voice soft but sharp. And who are you supposed to be? Su Feifei flashed a smug smile. Me? I'm your daddy's new girlfriend. Bo Ye's expression darkened instantly. Don't talk nonsense in front of the child. Tang Wei blinked, then deadpanned with perfect timing. Wow, Bo Yi, your taste really went downhill. Bo Yi froze mid-sigh. She's not. The boy grinned, cutting him off. It's okay, I get it. She's not even 1% of what my mommy was. You'd never go that blind, right? Then with a straight face he added, by the way, Auntie, why are you still standing at my door? Planning to break in or something? Bo Yi couldn't help but laugh. His son's tongue was sharper than most adults he knew. Su Feifei trembled with anger. How dare you talk to me like that? I'm your father's guest. Bo Yi folded his arms, saying nothing. Tang Wei mirrored him, crossing his tiny arms too. They didn't need words. Their matching looks of disdain said it all. Go on, keep lying. Let's see what else you can come up with. Even Su Feifei finally got the message. Tears welled up as she yelled, I'm not giving up, Bo Yi. You'll regret this. Then she stormed out of the mansion in humiliation. As the door closed, Tang Wei sighed dramatically. If that were my mommy, he muttered, she'd never embarrass herself like that. Bo Yi didn't argue with his son's remark. He silently agreed. Tangshur had always been a woman of pride and grace, the kind of socialite who would never lower herself to beg. Then Tang Wei tugged lightly at his sleeve. Daddy, he asked quietly, do you still love mommy? Bo Yi frowned and said nothing. It was a question he'd asked himself more times than he could count. He thought of her constantly, every day, every night. And yet, beneath that longing, there was still hatred. A deep, gnawing resentment he couldn't shake. His silence shattered the boy's last bit of hope. To the outside world, Bo Yi was flawless, powerful, untouchable, the picture of perfection. But what good was perfection if it came from a man who no longer loved his mother? Would it be worth it for her to burn herself all over again? The answer was painfully clear. No. The next morning, Tangshur arrived at the Bo residence to see her son. The moment Tang Wei spotted her, his face lit up. He ran into her arms, beaming. Mommy. Mommy, are you doing okay? I'm fine here. You don't have to worry about me. Tangshur's eyes glistened as she shook her head. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You might have to stay here a little longer. But I promise, I'll take you home soon. A cold voice cut through the air. Stop wasting your time, Bo Yi said flatly. Even if I gave you a year, you wouldn't find a single lawyer brave enough to take your case. He leaned back, gaze unreadable. Honestly, the three of us living together isn't impossible. Why not swallow your pride, admit you were wrong, and end this little farce once and for all? Bo Ye's words hit Tangshur like a hammer, knocking the air out of her lungs. She couldn't understand. How could the man she once loved turn so cruel, so utterly heartless? Bo Yi, what do you want from me? Her voice trembled. I served my 5 years. I carried the blame, the shame, the rumors. Why are you still haunting me? I'm haunting you. Bo Yi let out a cold, humorless laugh. Do you really think 5 years in prison pays for what you did? His tone sharpened, every word cutting deep. And don't twist this around. You're the one who came to me, not the other way around. You shouldn't have shown your face again, Tangshi. Especially not with that child. You make it impossible not to question your intentions. Bo Yi, are you even human anymore? Tangshi's tears spilled over. Tangwei Isorsen, yours and mine. No decent father would ever doubt his own child. Aren't you afraid you'll break his heart? She tried to cover her son's ears, but the venom in those words still slipped through. Bo Yi froze, finally realizing what he'd said, and turned to face his son. The disappointment in Tangwei's eyes was palpable. Mr. Bo, he said quietly, do you really think my mom used me, just to get your attention? Bo Yi frowned, his pride rising. You're a child. You don't understand the world yet. I understand enough, Tangwei shot back. Now I know why mommy wanted to take me away, because you're impossible to reason with. He lifted his chin, every word precise. If she wanted your attention, she could have done it the moment I was born. But she didn't. She hid from you, ran from you, for 5 years. If that's not proof, what more do you need? Bo Yi stood there, stunned into silence. Tangshi's eyes were full of disgust. She couldn't even look at him anymore. She hated him, completely. And Bo Yi lowered his gaze. For the first time his voice faltered. That he didn't want to admit it, but deep down he already knew the truth. That's enough, Tangshi, Bo Yi said coldly. Leave now. His voice carried the weight of a command. Absolute, final. Tangshi knew arguing was pointless. Biting her lip, she knelt down and cupped her son's face. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Mommy might have to go away for a while. But I promise, we'll see each other again, soon. Tangwei didn't fully grasp her words, but he could feel the storm of grief and anger swirling in her eyes. She stood up, her tone flat and brittle. Fine, Bo Yi, you win. I'll disappear from your life, just the way you wanted. The door closed behind her with a soft click. Bo Yi remained standing, staring at the empty hallway. The relief he expected never came. Instead, a dull ache spread through his chest, an unfamiliar, unwelcome kind of pain. Why? He had his son back. He'd finally cut ties with the woman who'd haunted him for years. So why did it still feel so wrong? True to her word, Tangshi vanished completely from his world. No messages, no traces. Nothing. Bo Yi tried to tell himself he didn't care, but he found himself searching, discreetly, repeatedly. Her studio was locked. Her phone forever turned off. A quiet unease crept in. Did something happen to her? Meanwhile, in a small rented apartment on the outskirts of the city, Tangshi slowly opened her eyes beneath the dim light. She groaned softly, rubbing her temples. Damn it. I fell asleep again. The deadline's tomorrow. I have to finish this tonight. Her determination was strong, but her body had other plans. She sneezed again and again, head spinning, nose blocked, a fever burning behind her eyes. Finally, she gave in. Throwing on her coat, she whispered hoarsely, Fine, hospital first, manuscript later. By the time Tangshi stumbled into the hospital, her fever had already spiked to a dangerous 39.8 degrees C. The doctor frowned as he hurried to start the 4. You're lucky you came when you did. Any later and we might not have saved you. Tangshi gave a faint, dizzy smile. Doctor, you look familiar. Have we met somewhere before? Before she could finish, her vision went black and she collapsed onto the bed. When she woke again, the first thing she saw was Bo Yi. Her breath caught in her throat. Of all people, why him? Your doctor called me, he said flatly. My friend Jiang Xie's younger brother, apparently. Tangshi blinked. That explained it. The doctor's face, the nagging sense of familiarity. Back when she was still the Tang family's prized daughter, she'd met Jiang Xie's brother once at a grand banquet. Who would have thought their next meeting would be like this? On a hospital bed, barely conscious. Life has such a cruel sense of humor. Bo Yi, meanwhile, was making himself at home, pouring her a glass of water, his voice laced with that familiar, cutting sarcasm. Jiang's little brother called me the moment he recognized you. Funny kid out of everyone, he thought your ex-husband was the best person to help. He smirked, leaning back in the chair. Tangshi, sometimes I think you've really hit rock bottom. Look at you, sick as hell, and there's not a single soul by your side. He lowered his voice, almost a mockery of tenderness. You know, you might as well come back with me. I told you before, I don't mind the 3 of us living together. Tang Shi's chest tightened painfully. She forced a weak smile, swallowing her anger. Don't trouble yourself, Mr. Bo. If you've got other business, you can go. Her tone was polite, but the dismissal was unmistakable. Bo Yi froze for a second, then laughed bitterly. You really don't know what's good for you, do you? Someone like me actually curious enough to show up, and you're trying to kick me out? Mr. Bo, she said quietly, her voice cold and tired. It's just a fever, not a terminal illness. That you're a busy man. That if you came here to watch me suffer, then congratulations, you've seen enough, you can leave now. Bo Ye's jaw tightened. That he had come to help her, handled her paperwork, paid her bills, and somehow in her eyes he'd become the villain. Fine, he snapped. Yeah, I came to laugh at you. He shoved the freshly peeled apple into her hand. Let's see how pathetic you can get on your own. That you're right, there's nothing left worth staying for. He turned on his heel and slammed the door, the sound echoing through the sterile white room. Silence settled. Tang Shi looked down at the apple in her hand, its pale surface catching the hospital light, and laughed softly, bitterly. Heartache. Please, she muttered. When he was busy tearing me apart, he didn't seem so compassionate then. Now he plays the savior. How ridiculous. The 4 drip ran far slower than expected. 2 hours later, the treatment was finally done. Still feverish and weak, she barely finished her discharge paperwork before her vision swayed again. Just as her knees buckled, a tall man with golden hair caught her by the arm. Miss, are you all right? Tang Shi steadied herself, forcing a faint smile. I'm fine. Thank you, really. She turned and hurried off before he could say more, leaving the man staring after her, dazed. You didn't even tell me your name, he murmured. Just as Tang Shi reached the hospital entrance, she was stopped by Bo Ye's secretary. Miss Tang, Mr. Bo requests your presence. The young master is with him. Tang Shi hesitated, ready to refuse. But the moment she heard her son's name, her resolve softened. She turned and followed. The second she stepped outside, Tang Wei came running toward her like a little rocket, throwing himself into her arms. Mommy, you caught a cold. See, this is what happens when I'm not around. You don't take care of yourself. Tang Shi chuckled, but the warmth in her smile was laced with sorrow. You're right, sweetheart. Without you here, Mommy can't even sleep properly. Then wait for me, Mommy, he said firmly, his tiny fists clenched. I'll find a way to come back to you. And don't give up hope, okay? I think about you every single day. His voice cracked and tears welled in his eyes. Tang Shi's heart ached. She stroked his cheek gently. All right. Mommy promises. Tell me though, has Daddy been treating you well? Super well. Tang Wei beamed proudly. I get fancy food every day, like really fancy. So don't worry, Mommy, he sniffled. You have to eat fancy food too. Tang Shi laughed softly and ruffled his hair. Okay, Mommy will eat fancy food. Promise. Just then a cool, teasing voice cut through the air. Well, so this is your son? Tang Wei instantly stiffened, stepping in front of his mother like a little bodyguard. What do you want? You were staring at my mommy this whole time. The man was strikingly beautiful, almost unnervingly so. With a mischievous glint, he crouched down and pinched Tang Wei's cheek. Relax, kid, I just said your mom's got a gorgeous back view. Can't blame me for looking. You dare go after my mommy. Tang Wei snapped, face red with fury. You're a pervert. Then he wrapped his arms around his mother's waist, as if shielding her from the world itself. Just then Bo Yi stormed over, his tone sharp. Tang Shi, what the hell is going on here? The blonde man's smile faded instantly, irritation flashing in his eyes. And you are? He asked coolly. Bo Ye's expression hardened. I'm his father. The blonde man turned to Tang Shi, his brows lifting in surprise. Oh, so you're married. Tang Shi shook her head immediately, voice calm but firm. No, he's my ex-husband. A faint smirk tugged at the stranger's lips. Ah, I see, so this is the ex-husband. The tone was teasing, deliberately provocative. Bo Ye's jaw clenched. What exactly are you trying to pull? He snapped. Nothing, the blonde man replied smoothly, eyes glinting. Just thanks for the introduction. At least now I know her name. See you around, Tang Shi. With that he walked away, leaving a faint trace of perfume and mockery behind. The scene fell silent again. Tang Shi exhaled slowly, unwilling to stay another second. Take care of Tang Wei, she said softly, then turned and walked off. Before she could get far, Bo Yi reached out, gripping her wrist. I'll drive you. She didn't even look back. No need, she said flatly, pulling her hand free and walking into the crowd. Bo Yi watched her go, his face dark and unreadable. For the first time he felt an unfamiliar sting in his chest. Why hadn't he noticed before? There were always men around her? The following days blurred together in exhaustion. Tang Shi threw herself into work, yet every door she knocked on stayed shut. Then just as despair began to set in, her phone rang, an unfamiliar number. It was Su Feifei. Her voice dripped with warmth and false sincerity. Tang Shi, darling, let's meet at there's a business deal I'd love to introduce you to, coffee shop at the mall. Tang Shi couldn't make sense of it. Su Feifei, Bo Ye's current flame, had suddenly called her the ex-wife. What kind of stunt was this? Was she here to show off her territory, or play some new game? Still, curiosity got the better of her. Tang Shi arrived at the mall cafe at the appointed time. Draped in a pale shawl, she looked effortlessly elegant, cool, distant, untouchable, like winter sunlight through glass. The moment Su Feifei saw her, a half-smile curved her lips. Well, 5 years later and you're still the same, that frosty, untouchable goddess act. No wonder people can't stand you. Tang Shi ignored the jab, voice steady. Why are you offering me business? Oh, nothing complicated. I've just realized Bo Yi isn't worth the obsession. Men like him, better left to rot in their own ego. Tang Shi tilted her head, her tone calm but sharp as glass. So you're looking for an ally, someone to share the misery? Her eyes narrowed, reading the woman like an open book. Sorry, I'm not interested in being your friend, and I don't need your fake goodwill. Su Feifei's expression froze, disbelief flashing into rage. Tang Shi, how can you be so damn ungrateful? Tang Shi's smile was faint, cutting. Oh, you're just figuring that out now? Su Feifei's jaw clenched tight, her voice dropping to a hiss. Don't get too smug. You think I came here on my own? Someone asked me to bring you here. Before Tang Shi could even react, a strong arm yanked her backward, and a low, familiar voice whispered beside her ear, "Long time no see, Tang Shi." Tang Shi turned around, and her eyes locked with a pair of striking blue-green ones. She immediately pulled away from the man's embrace, instinctively distancing herself. The mixed-race man clicked his tongue, his gaze shifting from Tang Shi to Su Feifei. Didn't you tell her who I am? Su Feifei rolled her eyes, her expression dripping with disapproval of her brother's obvious distraction. Geez, brother, you show up and forget about me. That we haven't even had a proper conversation yet. Tang Shi was taken aback. She hadn't expected this man to be Su Feifei's brother. Su Feifei quickly jumped in to explain. That's Su Qi, he's been abroad for 5 or 6 years, far from the spotlight. It's normal that you don't know him, Tang Shi. Tang Shi fought to suppress her shock, asking calmly, So you're telling me your brother invited me here today? Su Feifei flicked her hair back smugly. Exactly. My brother has a design brand overseas and he wants to collaborate with you on a limited edition release. Tang Shi wasn't naive. She knew that there was no such thing as a free lunch. She immediately pressed for the terms of the collaboration. Su Qi leaned in slightly, his voice lowering as he revealed the condition. There is actually one term. His gaze sharpened, the words laced with intent. Come work for our company. If you need, your studio can be under our brand. That will give you full independence. But we'll also take a share of the profits. It's essentially a contract. Tang Shi, still stunned, couldn't help but press him for an answer. Why are you doing this? This doesn't benefit you at all. Su Qi's eyes glinted with amusement and he slowly shook his head. I have 2 reasons. First, I think you're exceptionally talented. Bringing you into the company will be a win-win situation. He took a step closer, leaning in, his voice low and almost tempting. Second, you're Bo Ye's ex-wife and frankly, you're exactly my type. If we're together, I can help you make Bo Ye regret everything. Seems like a good deal, doesn't it? Tang Shi chuckled bitterly, seeing straight through Su Qi's intentions. Yeah, looks like it's a deal that works for both of us. Afterward, Su Qi asked Su Feifei to leave and she reluctantly did so, muttering, If it weren't for Tang Shi, I wouldn't be helping you. Once Su Feifei left, Su Qi seemed to relax, introducing himself with calm confidence. My name is Su Qi, the eldest son of the Su family. 5 years ago, I served 5 years in prison. Not sure if that scares you. The mention of prison hit Tang Shi harder than she expected. Her defenses immediately softened. You have a past too? The two of them entered the cafe and once seated, Tang Shi wasted no time asking directly, Su Qi, just get to the point. What's this about? Su Qi smiled slightly, clearly enjoying the moment. Do you believe me if I say I'm here for your work? Tang Shi gave a nonchalant hum in response, and Su Qi, sensing her skepticism, continued plainly. All right, you don't believe me. Let me put it this way. I'm temporarily interested in you, because you're beautiful with a great figure. The bluntness of his words stunned Tang Shi for a moment. She quickly regained her composure, asking coldly, What exactly do you mean by that? Su Qi didn't rush, calmly explaining, You know how it is. People from abroad tend to be impulsive and passionate, but that fades quickly. I'm looking to develop something more substantial with you. If you decide to leave later, I won't stop you. But of course if you stay, it would be even better for you to join our company. In an instant, Tang Shi understood his true intentions, and she coldly asked, Wait, are you asking me out? Su Qi didn't hesitate, nodding with a look of nonchalance. Finally got it, huh? Yes, I'm asking you out. Tang Shi straightened up, her voice cold and composed. There are plenty of people out there who express passion and impulsiveness, but Su Qi, this kind of straightforward approach, I've never seen anyone do it like you. Su Qi wasn't fazed, gripping her hand on the table as he spoke softly. No one says this is wrong. The truth is, in the world of adults, there's no need for deep feelings. Love is just a burden that weighs us down, and it only drags both of us. I just want immediate gratification. Tang Shi quickly withdrew her hand. Maybe you're right. Deep feelings are nothing but self-inflicted misery. She suddenly remembered her unwavering love for Bo Yi, which only led to 5 years of torment, and a sharp pang of pain shot through her chest. But Tang Shi quickly composed herself, gazing firmly at Su Qi as she spoke with resolve. Even if I've suffered because of love, I won't let myself drown in desire. It's no different than getting lost in love. She paused for a moment, her tone hardening. So, I might disappoint you. Su Qi assumed that Tang Shi was just playing hard to get, but Tang Shi made it clear that wasn't the case, saying bluntly, I'm not trying to play games. Su Qi shrugged indifferently. Well then, in my understanding, that's a straight-up rejection. He continued, his tone casual as if it didn't matter to him. Since Miss Tang has rejected me, this opportunity might not come around again. But I'll still give you the business. The Su family can afford a little charity. His arrogant, high-handed attitude was incredibly off-putting. Tang Shi scoffed and said mockingly, Should I bow to you 3 times and thank you profusely? Su Qi's face instantly hardened, his eyes flashing with warning. Tang Shi, don't make the mistake of rejecting my offer and then getting disrespectful. But Tang Shi wasn't intimidated. She stared him down and calmly asked, What exactly do you mean by respecting or punishing? Tang Shi didn't hold back her disdain for Su Qi's approach. Mr. Su, I'm afraid I can't accept such a generous offer. But if you're looking for company, just turn left as you leave. There's a royal garden with girls who'll surely satisfy you. Su Qi was enraged by her words, his eyes narrowing with fury. What's with that tone? Do you think I'm some dog ready to jump at anything anywhere? But despite the sharpness of her retort, Su Qi found Tang Shi's fiery temper oddly intriguing. He suddenly thought to himself, This woman is more interesting than I expected.